Welcome to day 60, Restore My Core. We're gonna be completing 6 movements that we're gonna do one right after each other for a specific amount of time. And that time will be dependent on which round that you're doing. Each round will have a different time associated with it. Movement 1 is a mobility plank. We can either complete this from the thighs or from the toes, or even elevated up on a couch or a coffee table. We're gonna move our elbows and our forearms so that we're about shoulder width apart, and we're gonna dip down in between our shoulder blades, bring your chest closer towards the floor, and then we're gonna push away from the floor. It is the upper back muscles here that are responsible for good posture that are gonna be working in unison with the core. Movement 2 is a tall kneeling hip hinge. If you've got some form of external load, feel free to hold that across the chest. We're gonna have our knees on the ground and our feet flat around the floor as well. We're then going to initiate this movement by breaking through the hip, allowing our hip to travel back towards our heels and hinging our torso over as far as we can. Back up, squeezing the glutes. We're thinking about pressing our knees away from one another to get a little bit more out of the hip area, and also ensuring that from our head to our hip in this bottom position that we're not breaking through the spine at all. So we're planking in this position through all areas of the exercise. Movement 3, supine heel taps. If you've got a couch or a wall behind you and you want to anchor your hands onto it for extra stability and support, feel free to do so. We're then going to push our lower back into the floor, raise our legs up, and we are going to tap left and right heel towards the floor. You can extend the lever to find the range and the load that feels good for your body. The integrity of this movement here is ensuring that our lower back continues to stay pushed into the floor for the entire duration. As our heels touch the ground, we are not offloading. We're continuing to add tension and rigidity throughout the body through the entire duration of the set. Movement 4 is a sumo stance, strict hip hinge. So you're gonna widen the legs to the point where you still feel like you can keep your toes relatively pointed forward. From there, we're gonna soften the knee and we're gonna break in the hip, allowing the hips to travel behind the body, feeling a stretch out the back side of the body. Now, important thing to note here is that we do wanna create tension through the feet and allow that to travel up to the rest of the body so that our ankle and our hips stay in line with each other throughout the duration of the movement. You can absolutely load this as well. Movement 5 is a 3-point plank. The 3 points are gonna be each of the arms and one of the legs. So for half the duration of the set, we're gonna get into a 3-point plank position. We're gonna imagine pulling our hands towards our one leg as hard as we can for that half of the set, and then we shall switch. You can also complete this from the toes or even elevated on a higher surface. Movement 6 is a single arm bent over row, hinging through the hip, loading one of our arms for half of the set here, pulling that load up and back down. At the halfway point, we'll switch with which arm is working. Important concept here, from my bum to my head, I'm performing a plank. As I load my side, I'm also ensuring that there's no rotation happening throughout the body. Today's training protocol aims to restore the core. When we think about the core, we have to think about from the bottom of the hips to the top of the shoulders. So that's why we include not only movements that target the abdominals, but also anti-rotation and also hip stability. If today's workout helped you restore your core, give the video a thumbs up, and if you like a cute puppy, also consider subscribing to our channel.